Hi, David.
Hi, Karat.
David, the question I have for you is, why are people important in risk management?
Yes, it's a very broad question. In some sense, it's an obvious question. But it's not just because we need people to do the tasks and to actually think about the risks and take action to manage them.
Yeah.
It's much bigger than that. The people aspects of risk are really significant and often overlooked or forgotten. People often think that risk is technical, risk is to do with performance, risk is about a piece of equipment that might fail, or about a contract that may change, or about a requirement which might change, or a regulation. And it's not really about people, it's about things. That's not true at all. People have a huge influence on the risk management process. Of course, people do all the important things. People identify risks. People decide how big they are. People choose and implement risk responses. All of these things are decisions made by people. And the interesting thing is that people are not, you might call, dispassionate machines. We aren't just processing machines like computers. That we come with a whole set of emotions, a set of experience, a set of attitudes, a set of biases, that the way that we relate to one another can affect the way that we see the situation. There's all sorts of cognitive things going on in this really complex brain of ours and in our hearts and our guts, which influence the way we see risk, the importance that we attach to it, and the decisions we make about managing it. And so we really need to understand that when people identify risk, they're seeing the world through a whole set of filters, which are different from the filters of the person standing next to them. Correct. They have a different perspective on the different perception of the world. When people assess the importance of a risk or choose a response, they're coming from a particular set of experiences and background that predisposes them to think about risk and respond to it in a particular way. So some people are very cautious, some people are very adventurous, some people take intuitive or they're analytical, some people take a short-term view or a long-term view, and this will influence the risk management process. So people are absolutely essential to take into account these aspects of our personalities and our behaviour when people are running the risk process. But it's more than that. It's because we as people running projects or running businesses or taking decisions, we bring risks to the business or to the project or to the decision-making situation. So we have good days and bad days. Our motivation could be high or it could be low. Our productivity could be high or it could be low. We have relationship issues. There are some people we don't like and we won't collaborate with and we don't want to talk to. Other people we get on very easily with and we like to work with. And these things will influence our performance, they'll influence our decision making, they'll influence the way that we work together in teams, it'll influence all sorts of different factors. And so there are people-related risks which need to be part of the risk process. Okay. If we only think about technical risks or risks which arise from the content of our business or the scope of our work, we'll be missing a whole set of sources of risk. So people are important because they do the risk management process, and we bring with us a whole set of baggage of biases and emotions and experience to that risk process. But people are also important in risk management because we bring risks into the project or into the business which wouldn't be there if the business was run by robots.
I agree, and a lot of risk inputs from people is subjective, and hardly any artificial intelligence or robots can actually take over that from us.
We will talk in a different video about how artificial intelligence can influence risk management and contribute to it. But maybe that's something for the future. Just now, most of it is done by people. And so we cannot do without people. We cannot ignore their contribution to the risk process, both good and bad. So we have intuition, but we also have blind biases.
Absolutely.
And so the strength of saying, I don't know why I feel this, it's somewhere in here I think there's something that could go wrong, or I'm excited about something, I'm not quite sure why, but it could be good. That's one thing. The other thing is I'm only seeing half the picture because this is my blind side, and I don't even know I can't see that way. It's a very important
So
area.
it's all in all quite a bit of influence from people.
It's essential. And that's why in this video series we have a whole section dedicated to people aspects of managing risk, because people really are important to the management of risk.
Agree. Thank you, David.
It's a pleasure.